All right. Welcome into the Blood Prison Shakedown. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. And we got a special show today. I'm surrounded by Blood Prison every day because when I come to the Ohio State Reformatory, that's where we haunt, and that's what we call home, is the Ohio State Reformatory. And we love it here, but I'm surrounded by my people, my haunters. I've got my head makeup artist, Matt Seal, and the person who's become the Warden's widow, Andrea. And we're going to watch her become the Warden's widow today, right here on the Blood Prison Shakedown. You see her out front or at the steps screaming at people. She's become famous with the guests over the last few years, taking their touch passes. Yeah. They don't make it into it. After they get past her, they're just like, I'm done. I don't want no more. So welcome in, guys. How are we doing?
Good.
Sweet. So we're going to watch Matt, who is the head makeup artist here at Blood Prison, change Andrea from this to, well, you can't really see it, but she's up here on the wall, the Blood Prison Warden's widow. She's the
super scary.
Yeah, exactly. And we had a warden. We'll get into that later. Come on, you knew I was going to. But yeah, so she's like, we have a house upstairs that is the warden's widow's quarters, just like we have the warden's quarters here at the reformatory. When it was an actual prison, the warden lived here with his wife and his children and everything. Not just a warden, like all of them, over the years from the beginning of the reformatory in the 1800s to, I don't know, probably... I don't think when it closed, the wardens lived here, but it was pretty close, I think. About 60? Okay, 1960. I got someone over there giving me all the right answers, so that's Rye. Thank you, Rye. But yeah, so that's kind of how we themed that house. After, your character became who she is, we thought, well, that's where she lives, so then we can, put all of your fucked up dolls and, we got the doll and we've got all the people in the dining room and the, everything we have in there. So it works out really well. Matt, a little bit about yourself, makeup artist, tattoo artist, airbrush, you do it, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing graphic design, makeup for a long time. I don't know what else to say. I've been tattooing for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
My job. But other than that, October rolls in.
Yep.
I roll
Here
right
we are.
Here.
Yeah, exactly. Matt also does our, like you said, graphic design. So when we redesign a room, we all get together. Me and Matt and Mike Tom, who's my head tech and builder. Brian Dembski's my acting manager and set designer. And we all get together. And we walk through the rooms that we're going to redesign and we talk about what we want to do, throw out our ideas. And then Matt will draw them because he's an amazing artist, amazing sculptor. And we put them on paper. So then when we build it, we just go up and all right, here's what we're building. And we try to keep it as close as we can. So it's really a team effort, and that's one thing that I'm happy about here is that, the first year of Blood Prison in 2017, when you guys weren't here yet, it was me. And I'm not saying that everybody else didn't help, but I'm just saying mostly it was me and Weave running the show from the front of the house to acting to set designing. And I would have House would come in and help and, other people, Scene Rogers, of course, but for the main part, it was me and Weave. So we've been trying to build a team as we go on through the years. And because you can't do it all by yourself, it takes a lot of talented people like Andrea, Matt, and Brian and Mike, so it's, a big team effort. So why don't we get started? Okay. We'll have Matt, just talk us through it a little bit. I'll ask some questions here and there, and we'll watch this become frightening. All right?
More frightening, at least.
So Matt, you start airbrushing. You do you've done the airbrushing in Midwest and stuff like that, like body painting and all that stuff.
Midwest Hunters started the body painting, I think it was their 5th year in. And I airbrushed did the body painting show all the way up till they ended up moving out to Chicago, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Transworld took them over. I've been airbrushing and doing makeup since I was 13. I've been in the haunt industry since I was 9.
Wow.
So I think this is year 37 for me in the haunt industry.
Which means... Matt's old as shit.
I got a lot of dust going on.
Yeah, that's dust that flies out of that airbrush. So, when did you kind of realize? I don't want to. You can keep going. When did you kind of realize You know, I'm an amazing artist. When did you like realize like, dude, I can do this? Is it like just it was just born in you? You're just like, shit, man, I'm killer.
Well, as far as art wise, I mean, by what my mom said, I was drawing at 2.
Yeah.
I came out of the womb with a pencil, got stuck on the way out, you know, but,
okay.
No, yeah, I've been drawing since I was 2.
Yeah.
Always had a dream to work for Walt Disney, you know.
Oh.
And of course that didn't happen. But
no, yeah, right. He's an Imagineer. Am I allowed to say that? I hope I'm allowed to say that.
I don't know.
I'm going to get sued.
But I started airbrushing. I had my mom go and buy me an airbrush when I was 16.
Oh, that's cool.
And I just like kind of self-taught. You got the like world's most generic air compressor that we could find, loud as hell. You couldn't even airbrush next to it without, you know, feeling you're at a rock concert or something.
Yeah.
And I had the old Pache, I called it the kindergarten crayon. It was just a huge hawking massive airbrush.
Right.
And that's where I started at. I just
that's cool.
Played around with it for a while, got into airbrush, painting other things. And eventually I moved it over into doing airbrush makeup when I was working at Bloodview.
Bloodview.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Bloodview because I think everybody that's been on the podcast so far has all worked at Bloodview except Abe. I think Abe's the only one. He worked in Paynesville, but we had House, Rick, and they both worked at Bloodview. Yeah. And now Matt, Bloodview and the Legion of Terror and all that stuff. So Matt, when did you what was your first time working in a haunted house?
I actually started off, I worked at this little rinky-dink family haunted forest. It was the Wells Family Foundation Haunted Forest. They would use basically the proceeds to pay for their pig roast every year.
Oh, got ya.
So they would do that. You go through their haunted trail. Everybody would design their own set. And at the end, they'd all give you hot cider and donuts.
Hey, man, that's what we're going to start paying our actors.
Well, no, that's what they gave the guests.
Oh. Sorry. Elena, just curious. Elena's our person back behind the scenes. Is that airbrush coming through okay? And with Matt talking and everything?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay,
sounds
sweet.
great, too.
Awesome. So, Andrea, whoa, what was that? That's the airbrush compressor. I'm not going to say what I thought it was at first. Andrea, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you can.
Yeah.
While you're getting blasted in the face. Where did you start? Were you, your early days of haunting, were you a horror fan growing up? Were you always into that kind of stuff and wanted to do haunted houses? How'd that come to be?
So I do remember, as a kid, I was super into Goosebumps and scary stories to tell in the dark. I was a kid at the library, I was renting the scary stories and that kind of thing. But actually wanting to work at a haunted house didn't actually start until it was 12 years ago. I think I was a junior in high school or something. And I was actually in National Honor Society, of all things. And we had to go volunteer and get volunteer hours. And one of the options posted was our local haunted house. It was in St. John, Indiana, called Lake Hills Haunted House. I don't even think they're running anymore. Super tiny haunt. Yeah. Absolute blast, though. I ended up going out there, and back then I did my own makeup, and it was a blood splatter, and I was like, ooh, scary, But yeah, that's actually how I got started into it, and I absolutely loved it. Even when I went back to college, I would travel back to the haunt and still work every season. And
what's the first haunt you went to as a guest?
I remember, it's funny, I actually just did a TikTok on this recently. There was I just remember being really little. It was a haunted hayride in Indiana somewhere. We were from Indiana. And I was terrified. This guy jumped on the back of the hayride with a freaking chainsaw. I thought I was going to die. I don't remember how old I was, but that was like the first one that I ever went to. I was
cool.
absolutely terrified.
You know, the funny thing about, like, I think most people have that story. The first time I went, I was scared and somebody chased me with a chainsaw. To this day, chainsaws are just a staple, you know, of haunts. And as many as we've been to, you know, speaking from a guest's perspective, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, at some point when you go in, you're going to find a chainsaw and it scares the shit out of them every time. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, you know, you think it would be getting old by now, but it really doesn't because it just keeps working, you know? So I know this is a pet peeve and believe me, I get why it can get annoying for you, Andrea. But let's talk about your character a little bit. So sitting here, Andrea, you can't really tell maybe as much, but you are 6'7" tall, correct?
Yep.
6'7". So I'm going to tell you about the time when Andrea reached out to me about coming to work here, and I went and met her up front at the reformatory. I remember walking up and thinking, oh my God, there's this really tall girl. You know, I'm like, wow, okay. And then I'm sitting there looking around like, where is this Andrea? I don't see her anywhere. And then you looked at me and were like, Vic? And I'm like, oh, thank you, God. And you're smiling on me. Thank you so much. So, you know, we came in and then, you know, we got to know each other and introduced you to the acting manager at the time. And, you know, it's all, you know, history from there. I mean, obviously from, you know, being tall, that works to your advantage then when you're trying to, you know, do what you do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because most of the men that walk in here are looking up to you.
Yep.
So they're just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, that actually, it works to my advantage because I always tell people I'm like the intimidating character.
Yeah.
You know, people always go after the girlfriend. The girlfriend's easy. Oh.
Paper towels, yes.
The girlfriend's always easy. She's, you know, cowered into her boyfriend's back. But if I can go after the boyfriend, she's an easy scare because I already got him. I've seen more grown men cry just because I can simply look them in the eye and they're like, oh God, you know.
Yeah.
Not many people that can do that, let alone a female. So yeah, I like to throw grown men around and have some fun with it.
We're going to have a lot more men at the haunt this year. Got to get thrown around by the warden's widow. So Matt, on airbrushing, talk to me about how that is, because I think you prefer airbrushing, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about the difference between an airbrush makeup like you're doing on Andrea and then a traditional makeup when it, you know, as far as like, you know, paint or appliances, things of that nature. What do you prefer about the airbrush more?
Well, airbrush gives me, well, first off, it's less of a disease spreader, as I put it, for the haunt industry.
Which is good these days, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about physically being in contact with somebody. As far as the airbrush goes, it's a lot more subtle. You can do more realism, I feel.
Yeah.
Where, like when you're messing with brushes and paint, stuff like that, you're a little more hardline. It's more designed for a theater atmosphere where you're farther away. I think the airbrush closer up gives you that exactly what you're looking for type of look. You can get away with not being so hard-edged, and it seems more realistic that way too.
Yeah, well, they look great. I mean, everyone we do, and it's funny because there's like before we got the number system now where we like, you know, number 5, and then whoever's open, they go and get their makeup done. But we would have people just line up at Matt's table because they're like, we want Matt to do it, and it's just like, look, we can't do it that way, you know. Yeah. And all of our makeup artists here are good, you know, and they learn from Matt, and they're getting better every day, and that's what it's that's what it's all about. But Matt, you also do the tattooing, which I know you love. So how does that exactly translate, you know, the different style from, you know, just in the artwork sense of it, you know what I mean, from makeup to tattooing?
Well, it's kind of similar, and then at the same time, it's kind of not. Airbrush, I'm working a little bit off the skin, where tattooing, I'm trying to push it into the skin, and skin's sometimes not as easy to paint on, or tattoo on, than it is to paint on.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Not really. I'm not an artist in any way, any stretch of the imagination. I am horrible at art in any way. If I was to do makeup, it would actually be good because it would be so bad. That's the truth. They'd be like, what the hell am I looking at? But I'll try it one day, Matt, if you want me to.
Yeah. Come on.
I'll come in there and I'll just like, all right, sit down. People just look at me. I'll do the doll's makeup. I'll do Dolly in the house.
God, what did she do to you?
And it's always interesting for me, like just watching everything from when, somebody's sculpting to just doing what you're doing right now, from a blank palette to, finished product, just as it becomes that, you know what I mean? Because right now I'm thinking, oh, you got like brown smudges on her face. What the hell's going on here? But when it's finished, you're just like, oh, I get it now. I'm not an artist.
Yeah, I start off with the brown just so I can kind of sculpt in my ideas. Plus, it's one of the base colors for her makeup to help her get that kind of aged look. So I build up my color layers for her to help her really stand out. And
so with the airbrush, I mean, obviously, if you're watching or listening, you can't really smell it, but like it smells like, I don't know, bubble gum, you think, or
I always say green apple.
Or yeah,
it smells like green apple to me.
Something, yeah. Why do they do that? Is that just for so it doesn't stink you out of the room?
Well, Andrea, when they created the product, this is a tattoo-based alcohol paint, so it was designed for going to carnivals and stuff like that and doing the spray on. So it was a little more appealing for the customers. They'd walk by and they'd smell this stuff and go, oh, we got to go over there and see what's going on. That's kind of why they created it the way they did.
So you're using, what is it, Andrea?
Andrea from European Body Art.
Ah, is that what you use all the time? Is that your go-to?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The good part about it being alcohol-based for one, so like I don't have to worry about my actors coming in halfway through the night and have to repaint them all.
Yeah.
It's an all-night paint. Unless you're a super sweaty person that if you go through and do like she did when we first started, and I don't know how many people saw it, she wiped her face down with alcohol to kind of get the oils off the face.
Yeah.
If you prep yourself like that, that makeup's lasting all night.
Nice. So Andrea, the Warden's widow isn't someone who's gonna say stuff to you. You're pretty quiet until you scream up the steps, and then after she screams up the steps, usually there's brown figures of something that comes down the steps after everybody shits their pants, and that happens a lot. I sat out there and I watch it. Just people oh my God, and they turn around and they look, and they can't believe what just happened because the scream is real. And you can hear that on, you got a TikTok that's pretty known. If you ever want to check it out, see the Warden's Widow scream. But how did you come up? I mean, what was your early character ideas for this one?
So I actually started researching actual people. In fact, one of our zone leaders came up with the idea when we were all kind of coming up with our characters, and she recommended just look up real people. So I started doing that, and obviously for those that know, am I allowed to say their name on the podcast? Or?
Well, I mean, are you talking about somebody that was real at the reformatory?
Yeah, who the characters based off of.
Well, I mean, I don't know how people would feel about that, but I mean, it is based off a character here.
Yeah, so it was of the time, it was the wife of the warden that lived here, and they tell her whole story of how she passed away, and so I just kind of based my character off of her because I want her to fit into the scene and make sense. I don't want it to be some random character that doesn't have a backstory or just makes absolutely no sense why they're in a prison. So I just kind of took that and ran with it, and then Matt came up with the makeup, and I kind of developed the costume over the last couple of years. And
yeah, it has. from year one to now, it's, I mean, the same character, but it's just evolved really well.
I remember like when I first started being her, it was that black skirt with the white shirt. That was like the beginning of times.
School marm.
Yeah, like it was like, I wanted it to be like a 1910, 1920s kind of school teacher vibe. And then, yeah, she's just developed from there.
I gotta get you to turn a little bit more. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I gotta take her away from you guys for a
No, you're good, man. They want to see how this is done from beginning to end. It's and it's a process, you know. Anybody like these are the makeups, you know, that, you know, we try to get done first as people come in, like to the haunt. We got to get these really intricate ones. Get her in the chair and get her out so she can get out front. Andrea, what's the process, I guess you could say, of getting into character? Oh, that looked like it hurt.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Every time we do that, it makes me laugh. Really, I just come in and just trying to get focused, really. I mean, for me, I can be pretty laid back as I'm like getting into makeup and stuff. But the minute, like really when the teeth go in, that's kind of like the final line of like, all right, no more messing around. Like this is real.
Yeah.
And I just kind of become her. And like the adrenaline walking down those stairs for the first scare of the night is just incredible. Because usually there's people lined up in the hallway already. And they'll just see her coming down the stairs, and they're just, it's a presence. Like, she just has this huge silhouette, and she's massive, and, you know, the wig adds a couple extra inches, you know, so it's just the entire presence of her, and, like, just hearing, like, the, oh my gosh, you know, like, that really gets you into it, and just gets you pumped for the night.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing, I run a haunt, but I've never acted in one, aside from running, you know, puppet animatronics, you know, that's where I keep my...
Hannah's acting.
Yeah, that's as far as it goes for me. You know what I mean? But it is, you know, I think that if you're going to get into character for the night, you know, for the ones that are hardcore into it, that's got to be, you know, especially early on doing it, it's got to be something where you're just like, if you're into it and you really want to do good at your character and for your haunt, getting into that state of mind has got to be something that's, you know, maybe a little difficult to do. I know I couldn't do it. I'm too of a realist. So I just look at everything just like, you know, this is what it actually is. So it's hard for me to become that zombie monster, whatever. You know what I mean? It's hard for me. Maybe I just don't have the imagination in that.
I'm a firm believer though, like the minute you get into makeup and you're in costume, like you're not yourself. You're something else. You get to act crazy and be whatever you want, you know, whether it be a creature or a monster or just, you know, whatever it is. Like I can go from what I looked like at the beginning to this at the end, and you're just something different, and it just kind of takes you into a whole other world. And
I can see that with you. I remember, I don't know, it wasn't last year. It was probably maybe the year before. But I remember you were standing out in the front hallway by the steps where everybody enters. And I was walking by and you were standing there, and I said, because I always check on people and I'm like, hey, you good? And you just kind of stared at me. You know what I mean? You didn't say nothing. And I was like, all right, you know, and I just kept walking. And I love that because I'm like, she's doing her job. She's staying in character. Now, if I give you that, come here, I got to talk to you, you know, then that's different. But that's what separates to me the good from the bad, because I've had, you know, we were at another haunt, I'm not going to say where, but I remember standing in line at this haunt, and we were wearing our blood prison gear, and we're sitting there, and this queue line actor walks up and, you know, does her thing, and we were like, oh, cool, you know, and then she goes, oh, are you from blood prison? And I was just like,
yeah, I'm taken out of it.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she's like, I really want to come up and work with you guys. I'm just like, not anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that ship sailed as soon as you broke character to ask me where, well, you know, if we were from blood prison. You know, because I want people that are going to stay in character. You know what I mean? That's the illusion for the people coming in to see that. They know. I mean, everybody comes in knowing that we're going to a haunted attraction, but it's an escape, not only for you, but for Matt even, but for the guests coming in. They want to be entertained, and they want to see that illusion of something that is fantastic and, you know, comes from somebody's imagination, or in our case, a lot of imagination.
And that's the thing too, like being in the front of the house, like out in the line, and being the biggest freaking thing in the prison, everybody is watching you at all times.
Yeah.
Like, you can't ever break character. There's just no way.
Yep.
Because it's going to be that one time. Like, I remember there was a time last year, you pulled the line actors out and had to talk to us real quick.
Yeah.
And same thing. Our guards played like they were in character, lifting the rope for the Warden's widow, and I still had to walk over and like my stance, you just, everybody's watching you all the time. So don't break character.
And as soon as you do, someone's going to see it and point it out and be like, that person did this. And it's just like, all right, come on. You know, Andrea's like in the bathroom on the toilet, like in character.
Screaming.
The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying.
You haven't heard it?
It's cameras, you know.
So, Matt, not only with doing the makeups and tattoos, you've worked at numerous haunts. You worked at the Goratorium out in Las Vegas when that was still a thing.
Yep.
And you also worked for us at Creature Core, sculpting some of our masks. You sculpted our doll mask. You sculpted our new one, Sawney. That's kind of this deranged cannibal hillbilly guy.
Dr. Satan.
Dr. Satan, exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I just got another order actually for that mask. We've been getting a lot of orders on that one. That is something that like even with airbrushing and tattooing, like watching somebody take this mount. Now I've never actually watched Matt sculpt. I haven't had that opportunity. But working at Creature Core, I've seen a lot of people sculpt. Seeing a big mound of clay become, you know, or they're slapping it on the core and they just start, you know, going to town on it. It's amazing to watch. When did you get into that, Matt? When did you start sculpting?
I actually started sculpting. I'm trying to remember the year. I decided one time I was like, I want to see what happens if I start sculpting. I created a character of mine called Zombo.
Yeah.
He was a dysfunctional psychopath that cut a clown's makeup into his own face kind of thing.
There you go.
So, that was like one of the very first ones I sculpted, and that was probably, oh God, I gotta go way back. I mean, it was probably around 97-ish, 96, 97, you know, was probably the first thing I ever sculpted. And then I did a full entire creature suit that I made that nothing really happened with it, but it was fun. It was an 80 hours worth of sculpting that I had a good time playing with water-based clay on that one.
Yeah.
And now I pretty much do everything in monster clay, and oil-based clay, and it's because now I never know when I'm going to get back to something. So it's like my schedule is so different. Where water-based clay, you just got to keep on maintaining it, and I don't have the time for that. Right?
Yeah. The one guy at Creature Core Scene, he does all of his in water-based clays, I believe. He uses the I think it's a white clay.
Oh, he uses white?
He sculpts in white clay.
Wow.
And, you know, when we're molding it, it's kind of, you know, House will always sit there and go, white clay's for molding, wet clay's for sculpting, you know, but Scene's like, no, I like the white clay better because I can form it better, you know, so I think everybody's got their own, you know, their own way of doing it, but, yeah, man, you also did the doll character in the house. You did her appliance, yeah?
Yep, last year.
Yeah, it looks great.
And we're hoping we can actually use it full time or full this year instead of having to split the damn thing.
I know, me too. Yeah, we were talking about that last time with, you know, how everyone had to adjust to COVID from, you know, and name the haunted attraction. We all had to do it.
Yeah, if you want to open, I guess you gotta
do what you gotta do.
With the rules there.
Yeah.
So Vic, does the actual paint smell like apples as well, or is it just the primer?
So Elena just asked me if the actual paint smells like apples, or is it just the base coating or the primer or whatever?
Oh, all of their colors have a scent to them.
Yeah, just to keep it pleasant. I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the first time you started doing that, and it was. I don't know. I just thought it was something else. I'm like, somebody's spraying something in here, or what the hell is that? And it was the airbrush. I thought someone was chewing grape bubble gum or some shit.
Thank you.
Can you still see Andrea?
Yes, we have an awesome shot of her.
It's hard from my angle where it's, I can only see the back of her head. The Pippi Longstocking braids going there.
I have the best seat in the house, Vic.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll put a wig on her, and she's got a dress. Matt paints her hands, and what else? Those sleeves, those are new. Those were new last year. Mm-hmm. And the contact lenses. She puts the teeth. She puts the teeth in. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process for sure. But it's definitely fun to watch. She even got this on her wig. She added these. Andrea, who helped you with your costume evolve it a little bit?
It's called Svenpuss.
That's right. Yeah.
They're, I believe, based out of Chicago. Incredible stuff. I highly recommend them. But yeah, I reached out to them, and they had a couple of spots open for customs, and I kind of sent them the current dress that I had at the time, which was, I think, year 2 of me doing her.
Yeah,
the wedding dress.
Yeah, we had found this wedding dress and dyed it all up and stuff, and so I sent that out to them, and they basically just added onto it, and yeah, added sleeves, and they even reworked the wig to, add the headdress kind of part, and they did an incredible job, and yeah, I highly recommend them.
Yeah, they're great. The wig itself, we had it's different. The one you have now is different from the original. Mm-hmm. So, and who'd we have do the wig on that?
That was
Megan. I forget her last name. I forget her name. She works out of Columbus, and she actually does a lot of like, she goes to I didn't even know they were a thing, but like, women dress up in princess costumes, and she makes the wigs for those. Oh, it's
isn't it like I had it because it's a kind of a unique last name, like Van something. I don't know. I hope if she hears, I'm not butchering her name, but she did a great job on the wig. Mm-hmm. It looks amazing. And it's different from the original. Yeah, the original kind of was bigger in the back, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was actually made by a previous actor or acting manager.
So speaking of previous, let's tell the story on because she's called the Warden's widow for a reason.
Yes.
Because she's not the Warden's wife. She's widowed. Her husband is dead. So we basically had to kill off the Warden for certain reasons, without getting involved. I'm not here to to shit talk anybody. I'm 100% grateful for everyone who's worked for us in the past. But sometimes there's things that aren't working, and the things with the Warden didn't work out, and so we had to have fun since he wasn't coming back to Blood Prison anymore. So we had to have fun with it. Mm-hmm. So we just made the Warden's wife into the Warden's widow. And just made the backstory as we killed him off, and now she's the Warden's widow. So she runs the show and is in charge of all the guards and the inmates, and it works well. I mean, it works really good.
So Vic, when you first saw Andrea, when you first met her, did you have any character in mind for her?
No.
Or did you just think, she can kind of do whatever she wants to do?
I know.
Well, honestly, when I first, Elena asked me if I had a character in mind for you when I first met you, and no, I didn't. I mean, I just knew that we could utilize your Andrea's physical abilities, and I guess by that I'm saying just her
zombie giraffe.
Yes.
her height advantage. Yeah.
I'm in.
Everybody down?
Because Andrea, you actually started in the West Cell Block in the chapel, didn't you? Go ahead, say it.
East Cell Block.
East Cell Block.
Yes, get it right. But yeah, I was just kind of a floater.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I didn't really have like a set character, and
You did more of that school marm.
Yeah, it was like-
Yeah.
but even her makeup developed. Like I still have old pictures, and I just wore like my natural hair, and I still have those pictures. And yeah, it was like the scene right before the chapel. And
Yeah.
I'd
It
be
was like a
throwing
little
people
mini
at the nun. And
graveyardish.
Yeah, that's right. The nun was in there, and
I
yeah,
remember
that's
there
right.
was one customer. We had literally just had the talk of like, don't be too aggressive with people that have touch passes. And I remember I threw the guy into the church pew, and the entire church pew collapsed. And I was like, oh my God. And the guy was like, this is awesome. This is so great. I was like, oh, thank God you're not hurt. You're good.
Yeah,
Like, I was
yeah.
freaking out like, oh no.
Wow, that's good to know. Jeez. Andrea, with touch passes, let's talk about that because there's a little competition between actors to who gets the most touch passes. And by that, what I mean is if you get a touch pass, what it means is the actors can touch you. Now, obviously, we train them not to touch you inappropriately. It's just to add a little extra intensity to your experience. And, you know, some of the actors that get to touch have a lot more fun with it, you know, because they can get the way better scares that way. We give them a glow stick, whether it's, I believe it's a necklace, a glow bracelet or necklace or something.
Necklace.
And, you know, we tell them when if it gets too much for them, we just say, hey, take it off. If they see the necklace, then they know you're allowed to be touched. If you don't wear it, then you're just a regular customer. So how many ballpark after you're done?
For her to answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say after you're done getting your mouth blasted, do you over? Gosh, I don't know. Two is it 3 years now? She's been the widow. 2 years, 3 years. Okay, yeah, 3 years. The countless amount of touch passes that Andrea's collected. That was funny.
So last year, obviously, we didn't have the touch pass because of COVID. The year before, I think my number was 489, I think I got from the season.
You got like, what, 100 and something one night? Or
Yeah, the one night.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
But 489 for the season.
You're not even in the house yet.
Yep.
That's the whole point, is like you're not even in.
You gotta get by me first.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. That's baffling to me because we went down to the Haunted Hoorah a few years ago when they were still down in Ashley, and we purposely got the Extreme Pass because I'm like, I'm getting that. I want to get my ass kicked while I'm here. That's what I want. You know what I mean? And there wasn't nothing that was going to make me take those dog tags off. So that just baffles me when people, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this off. It's not as, I'm too scared. But hey, you're doing your job.
A lot of it I've noticed is like a domino effect. Like if you can get one person to take their pass off, the other people start questioning like, oh shit, if they can't do it, can I do this? And then like, it's funny, I'll walk up the stairs and the stairs will just be littered with them. It's almost like a chain reaction kind of thing. You just hear them all like the little noise of them popping off.
Andrew's all picking up. These are mine.
Yep.
I got these.
And it's funny because I'll keep them on the stairs, and people as they're walking in will be like, what are all those? And then like the stoplights will be like, those are all the touch passes that people surrendered. And they're like, why? You know, and then he tells them and they're like, oh my God, you can just see the fear in their eyes. Like, she's that bad? You know, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, and you know, with you know, we'll see what happens, but I'm in the process of bringing him back. I want to bring him back. You know, we've got to, it makes it a unique, you know, situation when you can do that. So I want to bring him back. And, you know, COVID is, you know, it's in the rearview mirror. That's where I put it. So I really want to bring the touch passes back. And I mean, you know, I know there was a few haunts last year that's like, we're touching you. It's all the way, you know, I'm just like, well, hey, do you then, I guess. But we have a lot of fun with it. And when you see all the people that have them, you know, it just shows you like people want to do it. They want to have that. You know, so that's something that, you know, we might as well give them. Give the customer what he wants.
My favorite are the people that think they don't want it anymore and they think, oh, I'll just shove it in my pocket.
Yeah.
If I can see it, you're getting touched.
Yeah. So if you come to Blood Prison and you're a guest, you should always remember that. If it's seen, you're fair game. Mm-hmm. The best one I have, I talked about this a little bit with Brent from the Haunted Hoorah. He asked me about the time that, what's his name? Tom Holland
Hey,
came
Vic.
through the haunt. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you're good.
Camera 3, the one that's on you, is frozen.
Oh no, that's all right. All right, let's fix it.
Okay.
Are you going to come in here? Yes? That's all right. We'll just cut away from here.
What would you do?
You out of focus again?
No, it froze up, I guess.
Oh,
I think it's the shininess coming off of his dome.
It could be.
possibly. My ass bone's about to break. I gotta reshift here when you get a second.
You gotta re-shit. What?
Shift.
The other two are good?
The other two are good.
That's weird.
Talk dirty to it.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Interrupt. I just thought, uh-oh.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Where is our... Okay. No, it's here.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
Just Vic all of a sudden he went up. Should do something about this.
That's funny. Wouldn't it be funny if the joke was on you and he's just like this the whole time and still talking and you're like, what? Joke's on you.
Right. So I'm not sure why you do that. It's odd. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, hey. What'd you do?
He talked dirty.
Yeah, I guess that's a step. No,
I we had to take it to a 10.
Well, it was at least a 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Rex. I don't know. I mean, I just unplugged it and plugged it back in, but that's kind of odd. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Isn't that like tech
Well, I
101, turn it off and turn it back on?
I don't think
You know, when I
I don't
checked
think you have to worry about that.
Yeah, let's just leave it.
Yeah.
I've done the white dusting
That
already.
could have been too. Let's take these off
Okay.
because maybe
Yeah, the dusting portion's over with, so
maybe
That's
maybe
the
it got
only
hot
part
and
that-
overheated and just turned off.
Hey. Take the bags off.
What else do we have left?
And then
Yellow?
just cut away
That's
from
it,
that.
right?
yellow.
You can even do a transition.
Finishing up the hems a little bit because I
Sorry
didn't finish
about
one
that.
side.
No, don't be.
Oh, really?
And then the back side.
Oh, no.
I think it's on this one.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I gotta do a little bit of touch up on your lips because your lips are cracking.
Dude, that's so funny watching your lip. I'm sitting there like,
Slow-mo!
yeah.
I was waiting for the next remark when he says, and your mouth's done getting low.
I know.
I was like,
there was one you were like, you're getting blasted in the face, and
I
I
know.
wanted to be like,
I was kind of trying to get you to laugh.
motherfucker.
the problem is I wasn't supposed to laugh, so she's not.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was thinking. I said,
When he said that, I was like,
Oh, that's
it's a money shot.
So we're not doing money shots now.
Well, I'm out of here then, damn it.
All right, Elena, just let me know when you're ready to start going again.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
no.
Shit.
Well, that's what they call her, Miss Money Shot.
Jen, I didn't know that about
Yeah, neither did I.
Okay, we're ready whenever everybody else is.
All right, let me get Matt back in here and we'll go. We'll just pick up
Okay.
where we left off. Yeah, so if you want to, like, dude, if it's just a quick transition from where we stopped to start, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
You know, I've seen it happen. You know, it is what it is.
Sorry again. I just wanted to make sure that we got that because
No, you're good. What was I talking? I don't even remember what I was talking about.
you were talking about Tom Holland.
Oh, about
Blah, 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 blah.
about Spider-Man. Yes,
Blah, blah, blah.
blasted in the face.
getting blasted. I'd say
Spider-Man getting blasted.
Spider-Man came in with the touch pass, got ass blasted. Oh, sorry.
That's the kind of touch passes we're selling?
Don't worry.
Did Andrea do that one?
Yeah. Yeah, Andrea ass blasted Tom Holland.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. Don't ask me anything about him. Still don't know who the guy is.
That's the greatest thing when no one knows that. Who, like when I told Weave, like, dude, the Spider-Man dude's here. He's like, Spider-Man dude. Yeah, the guy that plays Spider-Man. He's like, Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, literally.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right. You good to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That was interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Really? What happened? I tell you, it's hard to find good help these days. I got some of my crew off camera here that they're chiming in when they want, trying to distract me. I got the doll in our house, who's also our zone leader up in the house, and I've got one of her minions who will chase you with a pair of scissors. No more wire hangers.
No more locked doors. I'm bilingual.
Yeah. I was in prison, Holmes. I don't like being locked up. Oh, wow, nice.
Tragedy.
So, is this do you enjoy this? Like the getting the makeup put on?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I really do, actually. It's really relaxing. There's a lot of times, like, in the middle of the season, I swear I'll, like, doze off. It's really relaxing.
What about the mouth blood?
I actually miss the mouth blood. The only reason I haven't done it is because this costume's, like, it comes up all the way around my neck, and I'm not trying to die, so there's that.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of miss the mouth blood. It was a fun gag.
Yeah, it's funny how mouth blood, let's use mouth blood, and it's never red like blood, it's always black.
Yeah.
It's just better.
The Ben Nice stuff, though, just tastes like peppermint.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't put your lips together.
Like I just did.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, don't do that.
Ventriloquism. So we were talking a little earlier about we had some celebrity guests come through the Blood Prison over the years. We've had, let's see, we had a guy from the Cleveland Browns. He doesn't play for him anymore. His name was Emmanuel Agba. He came through one year. The same year, we also had Dog the Bounty Hunter come through, and his wife Beth was they were on tour doing a book signing type of thing. So they stopped at the Renaissance Theater here in town and did their, I don't know, it was some sort of presentation or something about whatever they do with the bounty hunting and all that good stuff. But anyways, they stopped here, and Beth was a big fan of haunted attractions, so she wanted to come and see, obviously the Shawshank Prison with the Halloween event going on inside. So when you get that kind of, notoriety, we also had Tom Holland, who played Spider-Man in all the Marvel or the Avenger movies, and and Spider-Man and all that good stuff. So he came here one day. He was shooting a movie up in Cleveland called Cherry, and when you get that kind of, I'm not saying that celebrities seek out our haunt, but the thing's got to be good. It's got to be good, from makeup to haunt, and they all had a good time. What was Andrea? I believe I pulled you to come and get photos. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of all that?
Honest opinion?
Yeah.
He's a real small guy.
He was tiny, wasn't he?
He was tiny.
That's
that was my first impression.
Well, and that's not saying a lot coming from you, but
yeah.
But even for me, I was just like, dude, you're small.
Yeah.
You were like short, and it's funny how TV makes people look bigger. You know what I mean? Like, this guy must be 6 foot tall, and he's not. He was about, I would say he's about 5'8".
If that.
Somewhere,
honestly.
yeah. Now the Cleveland Browns dude, he was big, and but Tom Holland, he was small too, man. He was just a little guy. He was like, he was funny though, because we had the touch passes going then, and he's British, so he'd never been to a haunt. Mm-hmm. We were the first one he's ever been to. Yeah. And he was like legit scared going in, and our front of house guy Joe he asked him, he goes, well, what does that mean, a touch pass? And he just like grabbed him by his face. He's like, it means this. And he grabs him and he was just like, oh my God. And Joe's big dude. He's got these giant banana hands. He's like, ugh, you know, and Tom Holland was just like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It was so funny. But then when he went in, he had a good time and he had fun, but the director wanted us to call ahead to the zone leaders and tell them that not that Tom Holland was there, but, you know, who to mess with. So I did it, you know, called in and said, this is the guy in the purple touch pass is the one you guys want. And he had, by the time he got to the mailroom over here, he was digging it. He was having a good time and it was fun. They seemed to have a good time doing it.
Sorry.
Matt, how many colors do you use on just hers?
On her, she's got black, brown, white, yellow, and then it's called a bone white. And that's just for highlighting on the actual skin texture or the bones that are underneath.
Bone white. I won't even say it. It's hard to have a normal conversation around certain people.
Vic.
You.
I'm trying to be... What?
You.
I'm the mature one.
Okay.
Yeah, off-camera people can just, you know...
Shut up.
Yeah, stay off camera.
Well, no comment from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, surprisingly. I'm the mature one. Let's check out Matt's t-shirt.
Ooh.
I'm a tattoo artist.
Okay.
Just the tip, I promise.
And what's he holding in his hand?
I don't think
a gun?
we can say that. Shh, you're supposed to mess with him. I don't think we can say that on camera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We know the games Matt's playing.
It's okay. She doesn't know how many penises I hide in this makeup job.
Oh my God.
Oh.
You dropped the first penis word on the podcast.
That's right.
Nice. Congratulations to Matt.
Maybe that guy.
Hey,
Matt dropped his penis on Blood Prison Shakedown.
whoa!
That's your title right there.
And there goes all my tattooing career.
What does this have to do with haunted attractions? Well,
You're going to find out.
come to Blood Prison, we'll show you.
I'll show you what the real touch pass is.
Yeah. You get the prison treatment.
This is the $50 touch pass, and then there's a $5 touch pass.
That escalated quickly.
Oh my gosh. So Matt, how many tattoos do you do in a week?
Well, it really depends on. I guess I gotta throw this one out there. Size, but
What?
it's anywhere from 5 to 8.
Yeah. Do you design most of them, or does someone bring you a picture and go, I want this on my back?
I try not doing like, oh, here's this Pinterest picture that I've gotten. Would you please do this tattoo on me? I usually try drawing it.
I gotcha.
Because you don't want something that, for one, you know that one other person's already got it.
Yeah.
But you know that if they've got it if somebody else got it off of Pinterest, then somebody else probably did too. So there's probably like 40 million of these damn things running around.
All right, Matt, what are you doing now that's not airbrush here?
I'm just cleaning up the detail lines for her because she's in direct contact with people, so I've tried making these lines nice and clean.
All right.
So it's just a small amount of black with alcohol just to kind of edge line that. All those little breakouts that she's got.
So you're using the actual airbrush paint?
Yep, still using the same paint.
Or makeup. Is it makeup or is it paint?
It's makeup.
Makeup. I probably say paint because I'm an idiot.
No, you just don't know better. That's all right. We've accepted that.
No peanut gallery, nothing? Okay, all right.
She's over here shaking her
She
head.
says she's agreeing, yes. Rye's over there just like grinning, trying not to laugh. That's all right. That's okay. I remember haunt season. Jen's not a zone leader no more, and we're gonna put Rye down in the west cell block. In the
Don't
pit.
threaten Jen with a good time.
Yeah.
Shit.
In the pit. You're going in the pit.
Please don't make me zone leader anymore.
I'm gonna put Jen in the tunnel. You gotta go outside. Jen's always cold. You ever notice that? She's always
Right now,
cold.
when you're just like,
Yeah.
it's so cold.
all the time, unless it's hot, and then she's hot.
Really? Go figure.
Oh. And that's
what I'm saying is it's a common thread of complaints from the actors.
Ah.
Gosh, it's so hard to be you, Vic.
I'm telling you. You know how rough I got it.
What?
Elena gets it. She said it's so hard to be me. I said it is. You have no idea. I live rough.
Well, that has nothing to do with here.
Well, maybe. You know, it's working at Creature Core and working here. You kind of get, you know, you get it from both ends, I guess is what you could say. Why'd you look at me like that?
You said it, not me.
We don't need to know about your curricular activities.
You get it from the customer point of view and the vendor point of view.
Oh, is that what you're trying to do?
Clarify that? I guess. And it's fun, let me tell you. It's been great.
Like a root canal.
Oh, yeah. Either way, I'm hearing complaints from actors, not really from customers, because we do such good work. We have guys like Matt sculpting for us. See, this is called makeup artist retention. I gotta stroke the ego a little bit, the ego a little bit.
Just the tip.
Who's getting inked?
Touch up a little bit of black, and then we'll send her off to get her contacts and stuff thrown in.
Alrighty. Well, we'll do that in here. We want to see you put your contacts in.
You can do that.
You know.
It's a battle of its own.
And your wig, you know, your dress, you can, you know, go off and put that on wherever, but we want to see start to finish. Oh, I got a good question for Andrea. Are you really 6'7"?
You move your head like that again while I'm doing your makeup.
Blame him. He's the one asking stupid questions.
So in my job, what I like to do, and, you know, most people won't realize this, but what I like to do is I like to torture the actors sometimes. Not bad,
They won't
but like,
realize it?
no, of course not.
Oh, wow.
Like that. I asked Andrea that question because, you know, I knew it might, you know, raise some eyebrows. Like, really? You're going to ask that one?
We'll touch up the eyes once you get your contacts in because we know how that goes.
Yep.
And then we'll do your fingertips. So now you're free to contact.
Cool.
Okay, so from here you put on contacts.
Costume. Contacts are
okay.
last, and then teeth are like very, very last.
All right, cool.
We do costume next. I'll come back in. We'll do my wig, which I'll recruit Jen for.
Yes. We want to see it from start to finish.
This is going to be the first time we see Andrea stand up.
Yeah.
You want me to take this off?
See how tall she actually is.
Will we get a good shot of that?
You know, honestly, I think she might go out of frame.
Okay, go ahead. You're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll be back.
And there she goes.
Yep, there she is.
There she goes.
Oh, Andrea's back. With a beard and baldr.
Man, Matt was a really good makeup job. Look at this.
So, Andrea, never mind the cameras in there. We got them all covered in here. It's good. Oh, man. So, Matt, tell me about other places that you've worked. Only good experiences, of course.
Well, okay, then that's going to be a really short conversation. No.
So you worked at, now my friend Scene also, he didn't work at the Goratorium in Vegas, but he made some props and stuff for that. What did you do out there?
I was a head makeup artist out there as well.
Right on. How long did you do that?
Well, it was only open for a year. So,
Well, there you go.
so I did it for 365 days straight, you know.
Yeah. So they were 365.
Yep.
Was that supposed to be that way?
Yeah, from the get-go, it was supposed to be like
This is a
basically
year-
show on the strip of Vegas.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, we opened beginning of September, I believe, was our initial opening. We didn't get down there. We got down there, me and my buddy, on August 1st, and we had about a month to get everything finished and get the whole entire acting staff hired.
Wow.
So
How many actors did you, on average?
about 60 we started off with.
Yeah.
And it was really small and just slowly started to dwindle down.
Yeah.
By the time we were all said and done, based off the size of the haunt, because I mean, honestly, that haunt was probably no bigger than the whole upstairs.
Right.
And there was basically they were never lit, but there was theater strips, the lighting on the floor, so you could tell exactly where you had to walk through the whole entire thing, which kind of killed that little illusion that they offered. Well, that lasted probably about 3 to 6 months tops out of that, and we ripped them right up.
Really?
Floor. Yeah.
What was it like in, I don't know, January? Like, was it busy?
The problem was it never was busy enough.
Really?
Yeah,
really, even in Vegas, like,
it was hard to find.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I mean, we were on top of the Walgreens building on the main strip, but nobody knew we were there. So
that's crazy.
Because you had to, I mean, all these casinos and everything all around you, that's where people were going. To catch a show, it was like, I'll catch one later on.
Yeah,
know.
And that was an Eli Roth thing, wasn't it?
Yep. Eli Roth was the figurehead behind it. They basically were playing off of his huge horror background.
Right.
And it was nice. I mean, it was the whole entire premise was basically a murdering family that owned and operated a hotel in Vegas.
Right.
And each one of them kind of got their own end too. So now it was a haunted hotel in Vegas. So the whole entire thing, when you walked through from beginning to end, was all back corridors. You crash land. You get on an elevator and you crash into the basement.
Yeah.
And you basically got to try finding your way out without being taken over by Victor, who is the
nice.
Nice. He was the main bad guy.
Of course.
Victor Delmont was his name. So.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never I obviously didn't get to go to that one, but heard good things about it.
Set-wise, it was like a movie theater. I mean, it was like walking through a movie set the whole entire time.
Now, did he ever come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came out the 2 weeks before we opened and told us everything that we did wrong. So we had 2 weeks to fix it. I worked 90 hours the 2 weeks beforehand and 120 hours the next week after.
Jeez.
Make sure
so you guys screwed a lot of stuff up.
Oh, yeah, and I was salary.
Of course.
So, and everybody I had hired as part of my makeup staff was also, we were also responsible for sets and props.
Yeah.
So we had to go through and make sure everything stayed bloody. We had to make sure everything was working order, tighten bolts, screws, whatever.
Eli Roth, he did the, what was that? Was that The Cabin?
He did Hostel.
That's what I'm thinking of. Hostel and...
Piranha was part of his thing. What was the other one? Inglourious Bastards.
He was in Inglourious Bastards.
He was one of the main... He was the Jew Bear or something.
The Jew Bear, yeah. That with the baseball bat, he'd club all the Nazis. Yeah, that was a cool part of that movie. Where he comes out of that cave and just goes to town. Yeah.
Yeah, he was big on all the Hostels. He did 3 of those, and that was, probably his big, huge, like, the claim to fame as far as, like, his blood and gore stuff that really set him over the top.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. A lot of, there's a lot of, I remember back in the day, a haunt was just a haunt. Now, there's a lot of celebrity backing in haunts. Even back in the day, I remember the lead singer of Pantera did one in New Orleans called the House of Shock.
Yep.
Which is now the New Orleans Nightmare. I think it's a 13th floor deal now. Geez, who else? The guy I used to work for, Robert Kurtzman, we did 2 haunts.
I think even Rob Zombie had one too at one time.
I believe so, yeah. Because it's just that, everybody loves them. And it's that, step inside of a horror movie. And the way things are now. That's kind of the way we looked at it when we took this over. Because I still worked for Robert Kurtzman when I first came to the Reformatory. And the whole idea, even at the old haunt, was just like, let's make a movie set, and every scene is a movie set. Some movie we saw somewhere, which I know that's kind of what you want to do, but it was that let's try and make it better, and I think it's just, it evolves, you know what I mean? Every year from I don't want to ruin everything, but if you've never been to our haunt, but we've got a plane crash scene that's pretty killer scene. You know what I mean?
It's part of the whole entire zombie apocalypse we got going on.
And how did you get a plane in here? It's like, we built it.
Yep.
We made that, you know what I mean? People can't believe that. And that actually makes me and the team, everybody, sweet. Yeah. That was the idea, you know what I mean? Is to make sure that it looks as legit as possible.
I think that's what I like about this haunt over a lot of the other ones I worked at. It's not like you go, well, I'm walking into an Egyptian room. Okay, now I'm walking through this door. Oh, guess what? I'm in a library.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm walking through this door. Oh, now I'm outside.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how did you do that? I mean, it's like every time you walk into a new themed room, you kind of kill that suspension of belief.
Right.
Where when you walk through, starting off from, the warden's widow's quarters.
Yeah.
You're in a house from beginning to end, and then you submerge yourself now into the prison that she ran.
Yep.
So you go through darkness for a while, and you come back out, and now you're, you might be in the east and west cell block, but it no longer feels that way. Like the zombies and hospitals and stuff like that going on that helps kind of keep you submerged the whole entire time.
That's how I planned it. That was the whole idea, Matt. Jeez. No, it's good that way. I mean, I don't get caught on theming too much. A lot of people ask me about the theme. I'm like, we're prison. That's what it is. But I mean, it's to me, it's all about fun. 90% of the people that are walking through, are just, they're here to have a good time. You know what I mean? So that's why we want to give that to them. And they want, the more, it's funny, there's a fine line between realistic and, fantasy or imagination, but you want it. We look at old things. I mean, you're a part of the process. We look at those old things like, this is an old house. Let's make this look like an old house, because we want it to look as real as possible, even though we know it's not. Right. We want to give it you want to escape into that. This is where I'm really at. What is going to happen to me? You know what I mean? It's just a part of that fun. That's what I love about it the most, honestly, is just trying to get that image.
Yeah, even down to the costuming. When we move people into a more of a vintage type costume,
right?
It helps, I think, submerge you anymore. Because if you're walking through a Victorian style house and you see somebody in modern clothes, you're gonna be like,
yeah,
okay, but
it's gonna stick out.
Yeah,
for sure.
You get them in there and they're in this Victorian outfit inside this Victorian house. That throws you one more layer on top of it, which helps keep building that.
It's funny because I remember, God, it must have been about, and I'm sure in haunts they've been doing it for a long time, but we were at Disney. I can't remember which park it was. I want to say it was the Epcot maybe, and we were in this one room where it was this big. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like you basically sat in a chair and you were flying through everything, and you sat in front of this giant IMAX screen. And when you flew over something, is she getting ready to come out? When you flew over the orange fields, you smelled oranges. And when you flew, there was this helicopter, and when you flew by the helicopter, it had wind hitting you, and you're just in the seat moving around. It was killer. And that's kind of what we want to do is assault your senses a little bit, Speaking of assaulting the senses, look at that. There we go.
It's Pippi Longwarden's widow.
Right?
Yeah, right? All right, Andrea, what are we doing next?
So we got to get this up if Jen doesn't mind helping me.
All right, Jen, get in there.
We'll do the wig and then contacts.
Okay.
And then teeth, final touch-ups, and
then we're complete,
Yes.
Yeah. So how comfortable or uncomfortable are those sleeves you're wearing there?
They're awful.
Are they? Really?
Really the only time it gets me is when it's really hot out, because they're like a pleather, so they're just trap all the heat in.
Pleather.
But on the opposite side, when it's cold outside, I'm really, really warm. So
right.
It's a love-hate thing.
What do you got there? What is it? Oh, is that your...
Bobby pin.
Okay, well, interesting.
I just have a lot of hair to shove in there.
Yeah.
So.
Wrap it up.
I'm about to turn into what's the Star Wars?
I mean, this is a Princess Leia.
Yeah.
This is as real as it gets right here, man. You're seeing this all.
This looked my earring at that. I don't even know how I managed that one.
There we go.
I wouldn't say Princess Leia. I would push you more towards Heidi.
I see. I'm not into Star Wars, so I don't know all those characters.
No, Heidi.
Heidi? Oh, I did watch that movie as a kid. All right, I'm gonna recruit you because I'm struggling over here.
You guys got enough room over there? Okay.
Okay, I feel like you have this down to a science.
See, even getting into costume is a team effort.
I literally couldn't do this without Jen or Matt. Like, it would just be me in a dress. Like, there's no way.
People would be like, what? Wait a minute.
What's the deal here?
What's going on?
I'm 6'7", didn't you hear? That's
I'm
deal.
6'7". Isn't that good enough?
Jen gets that wig on lockdown.
She really does.
You might as well be super glued under her head by the time she's done.
Like, there's been horrible winds outside. And, like, there's been snow, and I'll come in with just, like, clumps of snow on my hair, and it's solid. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I love the all this extra. At first, I thought it was barbed wire when you first got it, but
I think it is.
is that what it's supposed to be?
Obviously they couldn't do actual barbed wire. It would have like really weighted it down, so they did.
Well, we had
You up?
Yeah, right.
My language.
I actually like my hair, so
we have stuff in the haunt it's plastic, but it looks like rusty barbed wire. No, that's cool, and the dead flowers and everything. It's good stuff.
Yeah, she goes through the haunt and takes out half the cobwebbing I put up.
yes, she's
Yeah.
a little dusty.
Yeah,
I gotta go in there and do that.
yeah, you probably should. I don't know if we still got that. Was that yours?
No, that was yours. We still have it.
Okay, all right.
So I think it's probably in the box with all the glow.
Oh, yeah.
Sticks.
It's a
Yeah.
I just gotta hook back up to the main compressor because I can't use our little ones.
Yeah, we'll go up and check that out when we get done if you want. I don't know. They probably all locked it up, but yeah, we've done a lot of facelifting up there in the dining room and in the hallway after the dining room. They look amazing. They look amazing. I'm so excited for Incarceration just to get here and get to open for that.
You want me to put the webs up before then?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
If we don't, we won't have time for a haunt unless I come in like the week everybody's building.
Yeah. Right. Well, and we'll be done up there, so that won't matter. There we go.
Why does it look like it's forward more?
because it might be.
You're barely seeing your spot here.
I know we pin it, so it should be okay. There's that little mirror at.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
The sound effects.
We can get you some ASMR going.
So Jen, what do you do in the haunt? The only time you can't get her, the only time you can keep her quiet right now. Is getting her to be quiet any other day of the week. That's the problem.
Oh, somebody
Or
was
sundial
shy.
and
Yeah.
zone
That's right, you are. She answered. I wasn't expecting that.
Kick ass zone leader.
Yeah. I bet you Jen could kick all the other zone leaders' asses.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Challenge accepted.
Calling out Allison and George and Dan.
I would definitely say she's the zone wrangler.
She is small but mighty.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, I pick good zone leaders, you see. So it all starts here, folks.
Did you pick them?
Really?
It was all done democratically. We vote.
Oh, I thought it was just whoever came with you the longest.
Oh, that too. That doesn't hurt either. Hey, if you've been with me the longest, I trust you more.
More nepotism, I see.
That's all right. Someone was talking to me about favoritism. Like, yeah, I show favoritism because they've been with me for God knows how many years now. So yeah, they're gonna get a little extra special treatment. Sorry, do the time, man, and you'll get that treatment as well.
I don't want that treatment.
No, you don't.
No.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
Nope.
She doesn't want to be stuck back into the house. That's why.
Yeah, Zach and Ronnie are always trying to say, Andrea's our zone leader. No, I'm not. You're responsible for yourself.
She is the zone leader outside.
No,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
it's a lie.
Yep.
Don't.
You know what I like doing is telling Zach, because every time he asks me about being his clown character again, I'll be like, "All right, yeah, you can do it." Really? Yeah, but you got to be back in the clown. Oh, okay. No, I'll stay guard.
Yeah, he knows.
They don't want to go back in. They love being outside.
Yep. And that's the thing. We can still come in and, mess around inside.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds. All right, I think we're pretty solid here.
We good?
Yeah.
Looking good?
Get your eyeballs in. And get
let's see that.
Your eyes.
I'm supposed to wear glasses. I have prescription glasses. I don't wear them. I don't like them. But my wife always tells me, why don't you get contacts? I'm like, watching everyone here put contacts in, I'm just like, I don't think I can do it.
Well, yeah, but that's a different
But
puppy.
scleras are like 4 times the size of a normal
I mean,
contact.
even just regular contact, and I'm like,
Oh, I could pop them in all
they're just
day
like,
long.
and like a finger getting into my eye. I'm just like, oh.
I still remember, I think it was like 2 years ago, I went down and acted one night
Yeah.
because we had the touch passes. And I didn't have my contacts with me. So the only way I could literally see anybody was the fact that they had a touch pass. And those were the people that I attacked because I couldn't see crap. I was down in the zombie area in that fence.
Yeah.
And I would jump out and go after people, but it was strictly only because I could see their touch pass.
Good Lord.
That's the other fun fact about these is obviously I wear glasses. When I have these in, I am blind as a bat, so I'm just going by shadows outside.
Scleras, for people who don't know, basically cover the whole eye, right?
Yep.
Pretty much they cover everthing, not just the pupil.
Spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see like
You get about a
struggling here,
you
but
get
yeah,
like a
there's
hole.
I don't know where to show that, but
Oh, I can
it's
see
like
it.
a little
Yeah.
hole in the middle where your pupil.
right where the center of the black is. But anytime your eye, because when you move your eye in the scleras, you kind of blind yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can only move so far.
But they're awesome because it's just, it's just all one color, which is really cool. Here we go.
It's really hard to do when you're talking.
Yeah. And everyone's staring at you.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez, have you ever done this?
I'm used to like looking up into the mirror, so.
Do you want someone to hold it up there for you?
Yeah, actually. There
you go.
Because when I tip my head forward, it falls out. Or I just have it inside out.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's another
Blocking.
issue too. This is why Matt goes in and touches up the makeup after this, because obviously I'm butchering my eye right now. I think that's
No, you had it right.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. You can see the dome on it better.
It's just a matter of doing it in front of the camera.
Don't act like the camera's not here.
I don't even know if they can see you on camera here. Can you see her, Elena?
I can see her. I just can't see her eyeball.
You've been beating the shit out of your
I'll have her
eye.
look into the camera
There you go.
behind her
Good.
whenever she's ready.
Yeah. When you put the other one in, just, turn toward that way. So they can see it.
Here, what did it say?
Perfect.
What you doing to my makeup? Jeez. Look at that one. Pop that one right in.
Yeah, so much
Just
easier.
like that.
Just like downtown. All right. Good?
Yeah, they're a little angry.
Yeah. Well.
So did you always use those contacts? Huh? You've always had the scleras, haven't you?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
This one's a little angry today.
He's all crying.
I know, right? I'm just so emotional.
The emotional widow.
Good. Don't look at me that time.
I hope we got that face. That was great.
All right, let me see mirror one last time. Oh, jeez. I know how to open a mirror.
There you go. Get it in there the right way.
There we go. She's in there. My nose is running.
Ew.
Want that?
But no, I don't want that. What's wrong with you?
All right. I don't know where to put it now. I'm going to put it down here.
Yeah. So what are you doing now, Matt?
I'm just going to touch up the spots where she healed him.
All around her eyes there?
Yep. First, I gotta dry your tears.
That's good stuff.
Oh, you gotta put your teeth in there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get her fingers real quick, and then.
What are you doing there? Just you paint them black?
Yeah, she normally she's got long fingernails that we put on there, but.
Are we gonna tell him?
Well, yeah. I'm actually got to reach out because I haven't heard anything back. But I got Andrea these new, attachments for her hands that are going to enhance the costume, which I'm super excited for because they're pretty freaky. Even that though, just the black fingertips. What's that look like? It's like almost like like Beetlejuice's hands. You know what I mean? He always had those black fingertips.
Like a frostbite type of deal.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting foggy in here now.
Is it?
A little bit. So it goes in, getting in your makeup, it's from everywhere. The face, the arms, the hands.
Okay.
There you go.
And that's the thing, when you're outside, everybody sees all of that. You know, they're going to catch the one part that you missed, or even down to under my dress. I have people that lift my dress up to see if I'm on stilts. I got to be in costume. I can't be walking around with like weird leggings or something, like it's a whole thing.
Slowly rotate. I know what slowly
That was
rotate.
really quick.
Jeez.
Looks like you've been playing in an ashtray.
You ready for your teeth?
Teeth it up.
Final part.
And this might be part of the reason why Andrea can't talk in this character. There's got these big teeth in.
Boy, can she scream.
There you go. There it is, folks. The Warden's Widow. You see her at Blood Prison this year, 2021, October 1st through 31st. Every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right here at the Ohio State Reformatory. Yeah, that's good stuff. What do you think, Matt? Good work?
Yep.
I love it. I love the character. I love the makeup. But it's just great having that level of what I want to say, that style that we do here, and it works really well. It looks amazing, and of course, being tall like that always helps. For sure. So, Matt, what you got any other ideas for makeups, characters this year?
I haven't even gotten to that thought process yet, because I still have to do a couple makeup classes.
Right, yeah.
So,
that'll be cool.
Last year, we had a good group of makeup artists, but I think we lost a couple. And we had 2 artists that never even touched an airbrush and learned in 2 days. They were just outstanding. By the halfway through season, they were knocking makeup jobs out left and right.
Right. That's cool. That is killer.
Just getting that confidence.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part with them. They were all willing to start off with just blacking out.
Yeah. For sure. Feel good? Does it work? See, she's in character. She's not going to talk to me now. She's probably going to scream at me when I walk out of the room. This is good stuff, man. Thank you guys for coming in and doing this. I really wanted people to see, kind of the inner workings of some things. And, obviously we could show them a lot more, because there's a lot that goes into what we do. And a lot of people don't quite understand that. They just think, it's just a bunch of guys in the house and jumping out from behind walls. And it's really more than that. This took about, I don't know, what are we in here, about an hour?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. From doing the makeup to getting into costume, getting the wig on. She has Jen help her out. She has you doing the makeup. So it's not a one-man show. And it kind of gives, the appreciation, at least I think, to, for the guests, they can say, okay, so they're really putting a lot into it. From Andrea thinking up and doing the research on, the previous wardens and like going deep into the reformatory to try and find that, so looking at it as an actor who's going to try and build a character off something, whether it's something real that has inspired them or just something they thought up out of their own head. You know what I mean? With the help from Matt, Jen, and everybody that kind of helped her put it together. Good stuff, guys. Thanks a lot for being here, man. We'll do it again. Maybe we'll come bring in somebody else. Down the road, we'll bring in another character. Maybe we'll do Jen's doll makeup or, some of the more intricate ones we do. Because I think people are going to like this. And, it's interesting. And hopefully, you can come in and work. You want to work at Blood Prison, just check out our website. You can sign up there. And it's a lot of fun. You can ask any of these guys. They do it every year. And I'm grateful to have them. They'll be here until they're dead. They're never going to quit. But thank you, Andrea, for coming in and doing this. I know this was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and it's not, it's going to be kind of hard not leaving here and going out and scaring people, but there actually is a ghost hunt going on right now, which could be interesting. We could go out and have some fun.
Can I please?
And I think it's a public hunt, so it's not a private one. So it wouldn't be someone getting mad. So we could probably go out. We should. Let's do that.
Just one scream, please.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
One.
I don't even know if you have to scream. You could just be seen and they're going to freak people out. Let's do that. You guys down for that?
Yes.
All right. Let's hope that we're here next time and we don't all get thrown out of the reformatory. Thanks for joining us on the Blood Prison Shakedown. Thank you, Matt, for doing the makeup. Thank you, Andrea, for being in the makeup. And thank you, Rye and Jen, for being here and assisting. And thank you, Rye. And come and see us this fall, starting October 1st. Come and see the Warden's Widow right out front of the historical Ohio State Reformatory. It's the Blood Prison Shakedown. Thanks, guys.